Good evening, my Rosalinds and Rosikins. Mother is back. I just want to say thank you all to those who supported my, or are supporting, not supported, but are supporting my weight loss journey. And just the fact that um, you're non judgmental and your understanding of people having to pivot in order to do something that seems more healthier and natural for them on a daily basis, but will still get, good weight loss results. And I'm looking forward to mine. Okay, moving on. Thank you, my Rosalins and Rosikins, for your support. The next thing I want to talk about is how, when you have pretty privilege, even when you're simply walking down the street, and if you know, you know, don't you know? That men will stop their cars in traffic, no traffic, empty roads, etc., just to talk to you, to ask you, you need a ride? Or you okay? Or you're too beautiful to be walking? Or like, I see you, ma, I see you, etc., etc. Now, I say all this to say that one, I want to preface this by saying, right, that catcalling is not necessarily something to be hmm, proud of. I'll add that because sometimes it's just very obnoxious. But it's a difference when a man takes interest in your beauty, not to be a spectator, but or a bystander, but to be someone that is, interested. And for those who get it, get it. I mean, we've all had men that have, like, talked to us in a way that is very lustful initially, where it's like, oh, you hot, oh, you this, oh, you that. And you can tell that there is no connection there. There's no sense of care or concern. There's nothing there. It's just a sexual, confession, basically. I call them, but there's a difference when you're initially meeting someone and they stop to see if you need help or, to tell you that you're beautiful. And then they have the intentions to take you on a date or to go out somewhere, or take you around people that they know, or to basically introduce you to people that, you can network with, etc. And it leads to more so opportunity. And what I will say is I've had multiple experiences of this happening in my life. I will be completely honest. And they're always so interesting. Okay, mother finds it interesting, Rosalind's and Roskins. Just how many doors and opportunities open to you when you are a beautiful woman simply walking down the street. For me recently, I just ran into someone that is of like Caribbean descent, and I was telling him about my grandfather and how he was Jamaican, etc. And he told me, like, oh wow, like, I have an event coming up, one of my friend's birthday parties. Can you come with me, and whatnot? And I understand two things from that. First thing, he thinks that I would look good on his arm. One thing I've learned about men throughout my life is that they are not going to bother with going out with a woman. Well, the ones with self-esteem, no shade, that is not beautiful to them, or essentially will, not give them points. They wouldn't go out with a woman like that if she didn't give them brownie points from their friends, from their family members, etc. Um, and so if a man invites you to an event where he has to socialize with people he knows, like birthday parties, weddings, etc., graduations, just things where it's an event where you dance, where there's food, and where people are, even, professional settings as well, that he thinks you're beautiful. He thinks you will look nice, right? Beside him, that you would boost his image. And the second thing I know is that sometimes men try to be slick. However, this is how you can tell the difference, okay, Rosalind's and Rosikins? Somewhat. again, you know how mother rolls. I don't necessarily trust men in the vicinity of their intentions. No, I do not trust your intentions. Your intentions will always lead to sex. I'll be honest. Or you're trying to use a woman for her resources if you think she can't offer anything to you sexually. So I always side eye. Women are very helpful. No shade, but I also appreciate at the same time. Okay, so back to what I was saying. How you know the difference in a sense of that he's actually interested, or that like basically he's not just looking for necessarily a short time, although they always want, I just mentioned, is that they're willing to spend money on you to make sure that you are there wherever they want you to be, as in an event. Make sure that you have gas money if you're driving and whatnot. Make sure that you've eaten, giving you money for lunch, etc. Make sure you look good, giving you money for your nails, your hair, etc. So they are always invested in basically helping you to show up to be pretty beside them. I think that's the way that I think of it now. Because every time I would think about men that would pay for my groceries, that would, I had a man one time pay for my freaking moving truck, right? Pay the moving truck company to move my things to my parents' house into my own apartment. And I want to say this also. One of my biggest flexes, high key. They didn't get any nookie. I just want to add that. Just want to add that. You look, when you are very like intentional with the fact that you know that you're not a prostitute, baby. You know you're not out here to be selling nothing. It's not one of those things. I feel like men respect you even more. And I feel like when you have a certain type of energy and you're a very pretty woman, that men don't quite frankly give a damn. Right? They don't care. All they want to know is, do you need something? Are you in need? Will this make her look even better beside me? Will this make her smile more? Will this make her inadvertently one day give me sex? That's really what I feel like drives men to, I feel like, really invest in a pretty girl they don't really know. Period. I don't care what no one says. I feel like that's part of what makes men want to, invest in you. And I believe in what Shira Seven says about how, you know, it's nothing to make a man wait for that moment with you. It's nothing to keep your legs closed and to still reap all the benefits. Because when you have that goddess energy, men recognize. And even if you be doubting, because I'm gonna be honest, mother be doubting her pretty privilege, mother be doubting her, like, how you say, your energy. I be doubting my energy, right? And sometimes it throws me off, but I also manifest at the same time. Like I said, I'm manifesting baddie, period. And so are my Rosalynds and Rosalykins, you know. Because I feel like when you're in a certain point in your life, you attract people like that. So I feel like with this YouTube channel I have, that the more that I express myself and the more of my energy I put out in my videos, the more people that are drawn to me because they also have like minds, like hearts, like souls, etc. Remember, mother is a spiritual root worker, period, an alchemist, turning that badness into some goodness, if you know what I mean. Anyway, so I say all that to say, Rosalynds and Rosalykins, please be mindful of your energy. Please be mindful that even when you doubt in somebody else seeing a beautiful diamond walking by, period, please be mindful that you are that girl and you are that boy. If you're a guy, listen to me. Whoever your sexual orientation, straight, gay, whatever, I don't care. But the point is that whenever you start to doubt yourself, ladies, listen, please. Class is in session. Know that your energy is not doubted. Your essence is not doubted. The only thing that's doubting is your self-esteem, baby. But the proof is in the pudding. And I want to know if you guys could comment below. I would love it. What are some instances of your pretty privilege getting you in places and out of places, etc.? I also wanted to add, and I think I'm gonna do a whole separate video about this, how being pretty can also up your career. I'm not gonna hold you. A lot of times, what I find is that women be shown up to work establishments looking crazy depending on what their job is. And even those in the jobs you should be looking pretty at. Questionable sometimes. And I want to add, ladies, if you are listening as in my residence, please remember, please, I don't care what type of industry you work in, always show up as a baddie. And baddie doesn't mean you have to be overly sexual. Baddie doesn't mean you have to have makeup like a drag queen. Baddie doesn't mean you have to have extensions down to your fucking ankles. Baddie can simply mean that you are giving effort to your beauty. Even if it's in a male dominating industry, I even challenge women that, especially in male dominated industries, make sure you look really pretty. I also need to preface this by saying that Mother also has a very sweet attitude. And I think that that also draws people to me. I remember also that, like, the man that, invited me to his friend's, Korean birthday party, he asked me, why am I always alone, right? He always sees me eating by myself, walking by myself, etc. And I was like, well, I don't know why. I just am. And I believe another brown cis dark skin exotical did a video about, how a lot of pretty girls are always alone. And especially, EU as well, Exoticals United, she also talks about that and how there's strength in being alone. And I feel like a lot of beautiful women, we just have always been alone. Even those of us who went through a rough patch with our looks and then glowed up. Because I also am one of those women as well, where I went through a rough patch, like middle school, high school, etc. And then I grew up like in college again. And then it's been like up from there. My point is that a lot of times you don't, you know, have friends, etc., or have people that or in your energy and around you because you don't really relate to them. Or you're just used to being that loner chick. Like growing up, I always praised the loner chicks in the movies. You always are inspired by the pretty girls, but it's the girls in the movies who are beautiful, but not the type of beautiful that the popular boys in the movies were into until they either get a makeover or, until they see that there's more to a woman than her, physical outer appearance, which we know is definitely a movie because it takes in real life, man, I feel like a lot of different steps to get to that point, right? So I find it very interesting, is what I'm trying to say to you about why I'm alone, why I run at my own pace, why I live at my own pace, why I plan things by myself. And I think it's just because you get used to people also I feel like this is part of why I'm alone too. You get used to people disappointing you to the point where you feel like the only safest place to be is with yourself. No shade, no tea. Facts. And I think that over my years of living, I just felt like, hey, I love my energy. I love being around me. I'm my own best friend, as Beyonce says, and me, myself, and I, period, boo. And I don't want certain energy around me because I used to be that girl, I'll admit. And I shared this in one of the videos about my toxic ex best friend, hating, just a hater, right? She's a hater. So that experience really fucked with my mind, and be honest, in regards to friendship. And I also shared a video about, within that video, how I have my best favorite exotic Blasian baddie, period. So, but even me and her, we have a certain relationship where it's like we can go weeks without speaking and we know we're each other's best friends. Now, does that bother me at times? Hell yeah. Because I'm just like, girl, I could have been dead. Like, but she also has experienced that where she would let certain females around her and she has her little guard up because they like meant her no good. So me and her went through that, both of us in college, actually, if I'm being quite honest, and her even before then, right? And just like being around certain energies, it just throws me off. So I learned to soak up my own energy. And I think that's just a pretty girl thing at this point. in regards to why someone who you would find, oh, like she's smart, she's beautiful, she's this, she's that, she has a nice body, etc. But she's by herself. Why is she by herself? You wouldn't necessarily ask someone that you didn't find for men. I'm gonna say from men's perspective, not women's, because women, I feel like a lot of us can be less shallow than men in regards to starting a conversation with someone, asking, those questions, maybe because we think their energy is off or they need help, etc. For men, it's because they're attracted to us and they're wondering, well, you're attractive. Don't attractive people have friends? It's like, yeah, they do, but me, not so much. I mean, I have friends, but it's not like, I'm around them 24/7. And when it's my time, it's my time. And I find the weekend to be my time, period. No questions about it. So, again, I say all this to say, my beautiful Rosalynds and Rosikins, that always stay ready so you don't have to get ready. And your stay ready, you might feel like you are not ready at all, but someone, again, like I said, is going to be like, oh my God, he bad, she bad, etc. You know, and I just want you to remember that, because we're our own worst critics, and I still feel critical of myself. Don't get it twisted. But it's helping me to have grace to know, hey, you don't look like an ogre. It's okay. It's okay. You're not Fiona or Shrek. It's okay. It's okay. It is okay. It's okay. We're gonna still be losing this weight. We're still gonna be, doing our hair, doing our makeup, looking pretty as hell. But just know that, it's a process, and you just have to remind yourself that. But share below what are some experiences you had where your pretty privilege got you into certain things, places, etc. And also, do you often get asked, why are you alone? Because, yeah, I find that interesting. Okay, I'll chat with you later. Bye, my Rosalynds and Rosikins. Mommy loves you. Mwah.